Hello and thank you for pressing play. Welcome to A Beer with Bear or Any Other Beverage. This is episode 95 with Tom Lara, aka Big Toe. Big Toe is a world-renowned artist in the surf, tiki, and punk rock scene. This episode was recorded at the Stowaway Tiki Bar in Costa Mesa, California. Over some cold drinks, Big Toe George and myself dive deep into his signature art style, from his paintings to his incredible sculptures. His work is recognized around the world, and his signature tiki mugs can be found in tiki bars across the country. We talked about the early days in surf culture, the many places he's traveled, past and upcoming art exhibits, the next one being Tiki Punk 2, happening June 6th, 2026 at the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas. I'll have links and more information in the episode description. I love saying his name, and by the end of this episode, you will too. Beer with Bear is available where podcasts are heard: iTunes, Spotify, Libsyn, to name a few, YouTube, and SoundCloud.com. That's right, full episodes of our recent and upcoming shows will now be available on YouTube, along with audio previews, video clips, and more. Please support the show and the artists who come on by hitting like and subscribe, leave a positive rating, write a review, and tell your friends. While you're at it, don't forget to like us on Facebook at Beer with Bear Pod, Twitter at Beer with Bear, and Instagram at Beer with Bear Podcast. That's right, due to some technical issues, we are no longer using the Beer with Bear Pod handle. You want to follow us at Beer with Bear Podcast. There, along with our other social media, you'll find pictures, videos, updates for upcoming episodes, and it's also the best way to contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Theme music by Chris Helking. Mixing and post-production by Ryan Miles. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Check.
Okay, and we are recording now. I am so sorry.
Awesome.
So you're telling us a story. So we mentioned locally how we're from the Valley, and you grew up out in. You mentioned you're more so Alvera Street than Beverly Hills.
Yeah. So I actually, man, going back to my grandfather, Ettore Padre had a bar on Alvera Street. That was actually it's like you can. There's the entrance is on what is Alvera Street now, but it's boarded up. It's it's been boarded up for almost a century now, which is pretty trippy. But yeah, I grew up in Westchester by the LAX.
What was the name of the bar?
Shoot, I don't know. I think it was the proprietor's name. So it just all I know is when you walk in, my grandfather's name is in the tile.
Hey, that's cool.
Of this bar, and the only way you can get in now is on the backside of Alvera Street. There's a place called Italian Hall, which is like a preservation society for LA, Italian culture in LA, and so you can walk in through there, and because we're family, they let us into this closed bar, and you can walk and I can see the sort of barn door. I don't know if how familiar you are with Alvera Street, but
yeah, pretty familiar.
Behind those vendors, there's those. They look like they're barn doors.
Yeah,
they're all padlocked shut. It's behind one of those.
Wow.
I
thought those were just for decor. How did I know anything was back there?
Yeah, it's a trip. There's buildings behind all of those. Wow. It's just old buildings.
So when we first got here, there was so much going on. I think we introduced ourselves to each other. Lastly, we went from talking about getting a drink to getting a tour. Oh, by the way, I'm Tom Toe.
Yep.
And the reason also too, because we're at the Stowaway. What city are we in? Anaheim.
We're in Costa Mesa.
Oh, well, I don't even know.
Yeah. So the reason for those listening. This place is amazing. If you're a fan of anything tiki or just a really cool bar vibe, I would definitely recommend this place. Right now, we're inside a whale's belly, right?
Yeah. So this is the speakeasy that's in the back of Stowaway. And the first time I came here, right after Stowaway opened, this was just like a breezeway, like that they just used for storage. And this was full of cases of booze and tiki mugs and stuff. And their vision was they wanted to have a slightly different concept. So this is like more of a mixology bar based around other spirits than rum. So tequila and whiskey based spirits.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because for those listening, tiki drinks are a lot of it's based on rum, right?
Yeah.
Most, not all, but yeah.
A lot, most.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of your past interviews. You go really into details on your recipes. I watched that one you did with Spike from on the Breezeway. Then that other one you did with a couple. I can't think of their names right now. It was in 2020 during the COVID era.
Maybe Tiki Land? I don't know.
It was Nova in the name or something.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember. I just during COVID, we did we talked to so many different people. But yeah, I kind of got really into mixology.
Bossa Nova Life, there we go.
Oh, Bossa Nova Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great people.
Yeah, very nice. And like I said, it was, what's it called? You just see their excitement too once you bring up tiki culture. Same thing with Spike. Once you guys bring it up, you just light right up when it comes to the history of it, the decor, the recipes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And you were saying though during the pandemic you spoke to a lot of people.
Yeah, we were all stir crazy. So I think the first one I did was Tiki Land, and you just set up a camera in the corner in your tiki bar, and just it was just like meeting each other socially, but we were filming But it was fun, because you got to learn a lot about other people's stories and stuff. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's some. It was a dark time, but there were some fond memories. Some of it being innovation, or just the growth of Zoom and StreamYard and the streaming in general became more mainstream for people. And it still to this day has. It's still being used, for podcasts, bigger shows, to where. But a lot of times I'm doing episodes now where I have people in other countries, and I took influence from YouTubers and also just during that era where I still incorporate it now. So that's one good thing that came out of that.
When did you start?
Oh, geez. The show itself started in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've been off and on for many years now.
Yeah. Right on.
And then, like I said, and then we started doing the digital stuff around that era. I always wanted to do it, but I never did it. And then once we were forced to do it, I kind of took a bit of a liking to it.
Right on.
Yeah. And so we're at the Stowaway. Like I said, when I first walked in, everyone here is into it too. People they got the hats, the Hawaiian shirts. I literally walked in and saw someone shooting a fire drink, people clapping. It's a party out there, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon. It's fucking crazy, like
wild.
And it's so dark in here. It feels like it's nighttime. It's an entire different world, like you mentioned, escapism and.
That's why you got to bring in your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, when you leave, like I said, it really is presentation and escapism when you come to a place like this. I can't recommend it enough to people. I haven't tried the drinks yet, but I'm judging by the smile on both of your faces are pretty good.
No complaints. Yeah, these guys, they really care about the drinks. I mean, that's for a tiki bar. The drinks is the most important thing. When you first walk in, most people think that it's all about the decor, and the decor is very important. But if you don't have the mixology thing, then nothing else matters.
Yeah, you might as well just go to a regular any other bar.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I'm curious about the food too. It smells good. And you said people here are friendly.
Yeah.
The owners.
Yeah.
Like I said, we soon as we walked in, we're here with a tow. We get the VIP treatment. We walk through the door. It says employees only. I'm like, oh shit, this is happening.
Yeah.
You love saying his name. Oh, yeah. Big Toe.
I know. I was. I had to admit when I first got this interview booked, out of all the episodes I've done like over 100. I think your name is probably my favorite of all the guests I've had. Big Toe. Like, I got Big Toe, you know. When I first met you at the Monsterpalooza recently, last October, I was like, oh, there's Big Toe. I saw the sign. I'm like, you're Big Toe. George told me to say hi to Big Toe, you know.
What's the origin behind that name?
So there was a movie called Stripes with Bill Murray, and there's a character, the Sergeant Hulka character, and you know he's a typical badass. I can't remember the actor's name. I'm embarrassed, but you know he's yelling at him the whole time, and you know molding him into to train killers. And Bill Murray character, they're in a scene where he's yelling at him, and he's like, you know, you're Sergeant Hulka, you're the big toe, and we're the little toes. So how it related to me is I used to take groups of artists and professional surfers to different island groups in the South Pacific when I was a creative director for surf companies. And so I just was constantly yelling at them because they would be, you know, paddling. We would be surfing at like backdoor, and they would paddle over to Pipeline, which you can't. You're gonna get us all murdered. So you know, I'd be screaming at them. They'd be, you know, like paddling over a place with really dangerous coral reef, or I mean, just hitting on French Foreign Legionnaires' girlfriends and French Polynesia, or hitting on, or you know, wandering the wrong way in an airport. So I was constantly screaming at them, and you know, we're all like late 20s, and I was just the oldest. I was in charge, so they started calling me Big Toe.
So
better than shithead, I guess.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Behind your back, who knows what they were calling you, but that's what they're calling to your face. You mentioned you did a mug for what's it called, the Broken Compass.
Yeah, Broken Compass.
Yeah, great place. And right now, I'm looking at a mug for the Stowaway. You said this is their new mug. I'm assuming this is how you store the drink. This is a harpoon?
That's a straight. So a lot of times bars will have custom stir sticks that you use to keep your drink properly blended, and it's something that's happened for all time at tiki bars, just because some of the cocktail ingredients are not as stable as others. So like the sugar sometimes can settle or something. So there's a stir stick so you can give your drink a stir and keep it all properly emulsified. And the thing that I've been doing lately is trying to get bars to make a custom swizzle stick with the mug.
Oh, that's
So this is the Monstro mug. Is it's the whale from Pinocchio. It's a Pinocchio themed bar, Belly of the Beast.
And that's okay. That makes sense. The puppets. I'm looking at.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
wooden puppets
Pinocchios with boners, which is kind of disturbing. But
oh my god,
you don't really notice it until you put it.
Yeah, I can't stop looking at it. That's all I see now. It's just wood.
Yeah. The wooden puppets with woodies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well, that's an adult bar.
Yeah. So this particular mug is designed for a tequila drink that's smoked. So it's the reason it's shaped like it is with the flat top is because you put a smoker on top and then you shoot the fire into it and it gets all smoky and flavored that way.
So when you design your mugs, do you have an idea of what drink you want? Do you design it around a certain drink or recipe, or just what the bar requests? Like, how do you go about that?
It happens differently with every bar. Like my latest custom mug was for a bar called Tiki Kai, and is this too close?
No, it's not that it's close. It's like you have it against your chin.
I know, that's what I do.
Okay.
Is that annoying?
No, it's not annoying. I just want to.
Because otherwise, I'll do this.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. No, do it then.
Is it okay?
Then. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Where was I? So Tiki Kai is a bar in Hermosa Beach. It's right by the pier. So they didn't have idea about what they wanted me to do, and they didn't have a particular cocktail that they wanted me to design the mug for. So I just did it based on growing up in the South Bay, and I learned to surf at those beaches. So so that was the inspiration for that tiki mug was a tiki surfing.
Okay.
But other like this one, they said we want it specifically for this cocktail. So this is the idea that we came up with.
That shit is cool.
But yeah, every request is different.
So when I saw you, like I said, you do. Let's talk about your art style. Before we get into like your origins, I want to hear all about the Big Toe, But I want to first talk about your art while you're here. You are, what would you say, a tiki surf artist?
Yeah, I guess the most broad definition would be pop surrealist, and it comes from the lowbrow movement that was kind of coalesced around the art of Robert Williams, who was a guy that came up in the hot rod world, and then was in the 60s comic zine world, and then has been a fine art painter for the past 50 years. And he also co-curated a magazine called Juxtapose.
Oh, I love that magazine. I used to love that magazine back in the day.
So good. And it was crazy because at the time there was nothing else like it. It was art magazines were like art news. They were very stuffy, very, sort of New York, sort of gallery based. And Juxtapose was this thing that was exploring what they started calling lowbrow art, which was art that was based on low culture instead of highbrow culture. Highbrow culture being like academic, very thoughtful, high concept, where lowbrow was based on cartoons and comic books and
probably subculture too.
Right? I remember going to Virgin Records and then always going to the art section, Juxtapose magazine.
Yeah. So sex and drugs and rock and roll was kind of what lowbrow was about, and so kind of that's how I came to it. I was trained as a painter, went to art school, but then I went into the surf industry, and that's kind of where I made my living, and then just got to a point where I couldn't not paint anymore, and so
is this because of your job itself?
No, I mean it wasn't a bad job. It just was I was doing things for other people, so it wasn't as much of a creative outlet as I would like to. I wanted to be my art to be more iconoclastic, more subversive. So
okay, because you said you weren't painting for a while.
Yeah, I didn't paint for decades.
You just weren't inspired?
No. I just was too busy making a living.
Oh, I see,
raising kids. I was, going to soccer games and.
One thing I noticed too when I was reading your bio is that you took 10 years for a 4-year art school. Like you're like the Van Wilder of art school.
Yeah, I had a really good time in college. I had a really good time. Yeah, I had a really good time. Going to a lot of discovering music and going to parties and
what was this, like the 80s, 70s?
Yeah, early 80s.
Oh yeah,
so it was a very really great time to be in LA, for sure.
Yeah, music and surfing too. So you're a big surfer then, like as far
I was. I've kind of slowed down, but I still there's nothing. That's sort of the adrenaline aspect where
70s, 80s. What you said you were into like punk or metal?
Yeah. So I was a metalhead, with all the classic rock, and then the hair metal bands that were happening in the late 70s, and then I went to a party in San Diego at San Diego State, and there's these kids with like golf shorts and flat tops, and I walk into this room and they're playing the Clash London Calling, and I just rocked my world, and it just that kept happening, where discovering the Clash, then the Damned and the Sex Pistols, and it was a wild, great time to be discovering new music.
Yeah, and then I heard in that other interview with that very nice couple that you were part of that Venice
Duke and Lola.
Yeah, that very nice. Yeah, Duke and Lola. Shout out to you guys. I actually subscribed because once I saw your interview, I'm going to follow them and check out some of their other episodes. So you made a fan out of me. What's it called? You said you were around like just not only the surf world, but the skateboarding world in the early 80s and 70s. Like the stuff I watched documentaries on, like a Dogtown era. You're Big Toes in the mix.
Yeah. I mean, I that kind of was like the day job part was the surf culture, and that's a lot of what I was into. And then when I started making art again, I got really into the custom culture world, which hot rods.
This is all after art school, right? You did the art.
Yeah, this is like mid 2000s.
Okay, so the art school, that was the
These mugs
concerts.
reminds me of like
Oh,
F.
shit.
Roth or something like that, you know?
Yeah, so
I like this one. See, this is why I'm more attracted to like the spooky and darker looking stuff. Well, I saw a Palooza, and then the mug I'm looking at now. You want to describe the mug we're looking at? The tiki mug?
this was my first mug for a tiki bar, and
We're gonna have you sign it, of course.
Of course, yeah. So this mug it's called the Lava Ledge, and I didn't know until that's what it was until halfway through, because he said I want a new mug for my zombie, and so I was designing a zombie mug, and then halfway through he's like, oh yeah, we're redesigning the Lava Ledge. And the original Lava Ledge mug was, I think, done by Von Franco, and he had it for a few years and decided he wanted to change up. So, I mean, that's talking about
Von Franco, is that the custom car guy?
Yeah. Talk about standing on the shoulders of giants. To take over for that legacy was pretty huge. But so it's supposed to be a zombie, and I love the fact that it's kind of curvy, because he's kind of drunk.
Yeah.
But so this mug actually just got retired, which is
so cool. You said that he's kind of drunk. So do you kind of when you make your artwork, do you kind of add like a backstory to whatever character you're either sculpting or painting? Do you have like a lore to it?
Yeah. So the narrative is the thing that's always really important for me. So everything that I do, if you look at a painting, there's a story behind it. If it's even a graphic design, a logo for a bar, that always has some intrinsic backstory for me. Like this, the fact that he's jumping out of the water and chasing these. I don't know if you can see. There's little tuna fish that are trying to escape from his mouth.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. So right now I'm looking at the whale for the Stowaway mug.
This is called the Monstro mug, and it's the first mug for Belly of the Beast, which is the speakeasy here in Stowaway.
Okay, so I want to go back. So you were saying, so you mentioned you fell in love with subculture, the punk rock, surfing is a subculture. I consider that a subculture.
100%.
In general, too, surf. I mean, and then you said you fell into the custom hot rod world and custom culture?
Yeah. So I kind of... My dad built hot rods in the 50s, and they would race them at Lake Mirage on the salt flats, and which is I don't know if that's salt flats, it's a dry lake, and so I kind of from his friends kind of knew what it was, and just growing up in Southern California, it's kind of Ed Roth and the different custom car builders. It's kind of a ubiquitous Southern California thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of was everywhere, and the art that I like was primarily made by hot rod guys. So I kind of just naturally gravitated.
The colors they use.
Yeah, I mean those are all a lot of my friends are hot rod artists and custom culture artists, but yeah, one of the things I said on in my first bio was the custom culture thing, the surf thing, and the tiki thing are all they're definitely outsider subcultures that more or less developed in Southern California, and it's just putting those three together has always been obvious for me. And I guess if you watch movies like Big Wednesday, you see that they weren't always copacetic with each other.
Oh, I see.
Do you think that's becoming a little bit more popular? It's not getting into the subculture as much as it used to, the tiki culture?
Well, I like to say that tiki is where all subcultures go to die.
I was thinking that too. It's kind of like a retirement. Like
it's the subculture retirement plan.
Yeah,
because old punks they sort of slow down a little bit and they get into rockabilly, and then they chill out a little more, and then they're that sort of Viva Las Vegas thing, and I was really surprised because I did Viva Las Vegas. I sold art there for more than a decade, and my tiki stuff would always do really well there. And so I'm like, well, shit, I guess it's all sort of becoming, just classic whatever Americana.
Yeah, I mentioned that when I had Spike on. I got what's it called, exposed to the tiki world probably around the late 2000s. Because I was, big into psychobilly. You go to rockabilly. You go to someone's house. They have like the hula. They have like
the early 2000s. You saying?
Yeah. Was it early?
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Was it earlier? Well, the psychobilly stuff was the early 2000s, but I remember later on. Once like 2008. Is that considered late or mid?
That's late.
Yeah. Late.
Is it late? But I just remember starting to see more of that by some of the bars we would go to, and then going to people's houses, I would start seeing like the tiki decor, like the carvings, the way they would have like the setups. I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't that into it. I just wanted to drink. Just give me the drink, whatever it is. But as I get older now, I have a fonder appreciation of it. I want to see the book. I want to go through the pages and look at the actual artwork and everything.
Yeah. There's not a rockabilly bar,
Yeah. And like you said, those
saloon.
I guess I wouldn't say go to die. I guess that's where they kind of. And as you mentioned, when they calm down, they start taking their money and I think they get into collection. Like
it's all part of the mid-century,
Yeah. Like you start collecting things. Like this mug right here. This is a piece of art. You want to collect it. You want to not only use it, but it's part of your home. It has a place in it.
Yeah. Mug collecting is really dangerous because they're little like limited edition pieces of art, but that are relatively affordable. It's not like going and getting a Cause toy that's, $500. So I mean, don't get me wrong, there are tiki mugs that are 1,000 plus.
I don't have any for a reason. Like I can't afford them.
Yeah, but this one was 35 when you bought it, and now it's probably worth 5-6 times that because this mug's been discontinued, and so everything appreciates when it's scarce, right?
I remember the first times you go to Frankie's, I think they're like 25 with a drink. First time I went, it was like 09.
You're what?
Yeah.
Now they're with a drink, they're usually 80. So
that was the thing we brought up too with Spike is how you mentioned too in one of your interviews you would find tiki mugs at the thrift stores for like quarter, $1, and he would just clean house.
Yeah. Spike got into it, or as you like to, you I think you renamed him Breezy.
Oh, Spike Breezy. Yeah, he didn't like that.
Doesn't matter. You're still calling him that.
That's his name for me from now on. But I mean he started collecting way before I did. I mean he's got really cool stuff because he started early.
Yeah, I almost knocked some of it over a couple of times.
Oh no.
Like more than once.
You almost knocked over that big one. I was like, that thing's like $12,000.
Yeah, then I was grabbing stuff like don't stop grabbing stuff. And then I knocked over some like ladder looking thing. It's like, oh no, that's just from the 1920s, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Did you see that episode that I did, the Breezeway episode I did with him with Candy?
Yeah, that's the one I was watching. Actually, I was gonna post it like I'm getting ready to go.
So I was completely terrified in the video because he had busted out these cocktail glasses that were like irreplaceable, like priceless. And his, I don't know if you got behind the bar, but it's kind of, it's very slippery and it's kind of not perfectly level. So and the glasses are tall and I'm clumsy, so I was terrified. I was like, Candy's all she's got more chill than I do.
Yeah, no, his place is great. Just kind of like here, you go in there, it has that same feel. It escapes. It's like it's weird because you see it on screen. So I felt like I was on a movie set in a way.
Yeah, it feels so expansive when you see it on the show, but then when you get in there, you see the little locations.
Yeah, and there's just so
which
much
is
to
so
look
fun
at.
to see.
Yeah,
and great. He's got amazing stuff.
Yeah, and then for those listening who don't know, we're talking about Spike Breezy Cocktail Hour, Spike's Breezeway with the Hula Girls on YouTube. He's got a band too. Great guy.
He's a great dude. Yeah, he's got a lot. A lot of boats in the water, with the show, and he's got the cruises, and he's got the rum.
Yeah, he's starting to. He's
great graphic designer.
Oh, I did go to that live show.
He has a show now.
You were there too. That
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs one.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Still promotion now.
He just announced the Spike's Breezeway Weekender for January, and Deke Dickerson's headlining. So I guess maybe there's somebody else. I can't remember. There's some other guy that's
Fairies.
Yeah. So, but I'm Deke's there. I'm there.
Yeah,
So,
he's a storyteller too. So I want to go back into some of the artwork stuff again too, because we're talking about mugs, we're talking about sculpting. You're primarily, you said you started off as a painter.
yeah, I think of myself as a painter. Yeah.
How long did it take from going from painting into sculpting before you decided that? What made you get into actually mugs?
So in art school, I did sculpting as well, so I understand working mentally in 3 dimensions. But the way I got into making tiki mugs is while I was still at the surf company, I bumped into Holden Westland, who's the owner of a company called Tiki Farm, which is he made this mug. He made he makes most of the tiki mugs for bars.
Yeah.
So I bumped into him at a Rick Griffin art show at the Laguna Beach Art Museum, and we're catching. We actually met in college. We used to hang out at El Paso Candina for whatever they called it, the alternative night. We'd go and get our like $3 what were they, Long Island iced teas, which is the worst thing. Just nasty, just
gasoline.
Yeah, but they were strong and effective, and so we would knock back a couple $3 Long Island teas, and then go hit on girls that were dressed like Madonna, and dance to like the Smiths or Skinny Puppy or those kinds of bands, but. But then I didn't see Holden again until this show in like the mid 2000s. And talk about what we're up to, and he's like, yeah, I'm doing this thing, and he goes, you should come and check out my facility and design some mugs for me. So that's how I started.
And what year was this again? I'm sorry.
2006, 7.
Okay.
Ish.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember you text me saying that which episodes you're listening to. You started with Dogula with Ben from the drummer for all the bands.
Yeah.
I'm checking out Ben. I'm going to show
Ben K9.
Yeah, and then some other ones you mentioned. So today I'm doing Big Toe. I was watching Big Toe stuff. Spike Free Breezeway. I'm not going to say Breezy. He didn't like that.
He didn't like that at all.
But I guess going back to what George was saying is, do you think that you mentioned this is where subcultures go to die? Do you think that is getting once again more mainstream? Because I'm not sure if it is, or it's just because the people I surround myself now tend to have an interest in it.
I don't know. Tiki is a weird little niche. It is gaining in popularity, just I think because bar entrepreneurs are finding that it's a very lucrative business. So I think people are building tiki bars. So
Yeah.
I think that sort of expands the culture. However, there's some perceptions of that have negative connotations with regards to the taking advantage of cultural appropriation. So I don't know that it's ever going to get huge.
Yeah, because it's the islands.
Yeah, it's based on escapist culture, but I think the perception is that it's all based around exploiting Polynesian culture, which for me I'm into this because I love and honor and appreciate Polynesian culture, and maybe it's maybe that's not a huge difference for people, but for me it's a matter of showing respect rather than taking advantage of. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Anyway, so because there's that weird connotation, I think that it can't. Disney is very careful with their depiction of Polynesian culture at their hotels and their bars, just because they get pushback.
Yeah.
Like they had to take
I miss the
Trader Sam.
Give me those shrunken heads.
Yeah, they had to take Trader Sam out, and people were like, "Oh, Disney's woke," and I'm like, "It's not that Disney's woke. It's that they want to be profitable, and they've done market testing, and if they're making some of their customers uncomfortable, it it's not as profitable. So that's why they took Trader Sam out. But
hey, you mentioned
I want them back.
Isn't there an art show you did in Vegas? Because you said this year you didn't go to Viva. Viva just passed this weekend.
Yeah.
And you were doing the Punk Rock Museum. Tell me about that.
So last year we did an art show at the Punk Rock Museum, and they wanted to do something that was rebellious. What's the word? Tangential culture, culture that's similar but not the same. To punk rock, to bring people that they think would have similar interests into the Punk Rock Museum. So somebody said, "Oh, well, let's do a tiki show," and they're like, "Well, who's the most punk rock tiki guy?" And so they couldn't find them, so they got me, and so I curated a Tiki Punk art show for the museum.
Oh, you curated it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so and it did pretty well. I think I kept telling them for opening night, I'm like, okay, order 3 times as much booze as you normally order, because these people are going to clean out your booze, and they're going to want more. And they're like, yeah, we're punks, we're drinkers, you don't have to worry about that. But
and then, like you mentioned, yeah, there's so many people I meet now in the scene who are all from the punk scene too.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, I don't like to say dive, which is when they come to mellow out, You're
Yeah.
not headbanging, you're not slam dancing.
Yeah, that's kind of my yeah, it's my joke. I mean, it's the punk rock retirement plan.
Yeah.
But so they ended up ordering twice as much booze and still sold out. So I think they were super pleasantly surprised by how much. I'm good, thank you.
I'll just see if they have any carbonated water, like a Perrier or something.
Oh, they definitely do.
Okay.
But they asked me to do it again, so I'm doing that show again this year.
That's cool. And the reason I brought it up too is because of the name itself. What was the name of it? You mentioned.
So the first year was called Subcultural Appropriation,
there we
because
go.
So it's a play off cultural appropriation, but it's just this idea that all the subcultures have become sort of intermingled.
Yeah.
So that actually was Jim Baki's idea. He has a band called the Tiki Orchestra. He does exotica music. But yeah, I was super stoked to have a fun, stupid name. This year we're just calling it. That's not it. This year we're just calling it Tiki Punk 2.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so it's some of the same artists, and then some other new artists. And basically the same weekend.
Yeah, I love that. What is that? The little the slam dancing.
So it's based on the Skank Man from the Circle Jerks, designed by Sean Carey, who is she's most famous for being a punk rock flyer artist, and she designed logos for the Germs and the Circle Jerks and other bands.
Sorry, I'm just taking a picture of it.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing I noticed too when I saw your artwork. It is very punk rock, but also has a classic feel to it. I want to talk more about your style. You mentioned some of your influences. One thing I read too, I got a giggle out of, was Mad Magazine.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So zines are so. There's actually, if you have time, there's an art show at the Long Beach Museum of Art going on for a few more weeks. That's a survey of Robert Williams' artwork, and one of the things that I really liked about it is he has his influences, and one of them is Mad Magazine, and that's what got him into doing the zines that he did in the 70s, and it's so there's a throughway from the outsider artists of the 50s to the 60s to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So, I look at some of my old paintings from like the 90s and 2000s or early 2000s, and they very much have more of a. You can definitely see the derivations more clearly. Like there's a lot that look more like. Paintings from the guys that were my heroes, like Ed Roth and Damian Fulton and Keith Wiesner and just all these comic artists and lowbrow artists from the 90s.
Yeah, one of the things you draw too, like, is the way you draw women is very cool, very sexy, but very
Thanks.
at the same time very. I don't know what the word to describe it would be.
Empowered, dangerous.
Yeah,
sexy and dangerous is kind of what I'm going after.
I like it too, and like I said, I love your use of colors and what's it called? What makes you decide? Okay, so how do you decide from a sculpture to a painting? When you get an inspiration, you get an idea. Like, is this a better painting? Is this a better sculpture? How do you decide?
I think I'm sorry. Everything starts as paintings.
Oh, okay.
I'm much more interested in color and composition and narrative than I am with designing, a sculpture. I don't know why that is. I guess it's possible to do fun narrative storytelling with tiki mugs. Like, I think there's a story there, but I feel like I'm limited with color, and I'm limited because I can't have. The thing with tiki mugs is they're slip cast, so they have to be in a hard mold that's pulled apart. So I can't have undercuts. I can't have, for the most part, I can't have holes, so it's fun to be able to design in the round so that, so it's cool looking from all sides. That's really important. But at the same time, the color is what, really trips my trigger. So
what was the first piece that really got you on noticed, I guess you could say? You have that.
So I had a painting at Tiki at Frankie's Tiki Room for 18 years, and I think that's the one that
his Ruby's one.
Yeah, Ruby's Dilemma, which is no longer there. I don't know if you noticed, or if you've been back. But so that painting, I think, is the painting that most people know me for, and it's the book. That's the painting that's on the cover of my book and stuff.
Over there in Frankie's.
Yeah, so it's gone.
Yeah.
I'd made a new painting for him.
But what do you mean it's gone? Like
Moss, the owner, took it home.
Oh, he took it home.
He's like, he goes, I want a new painting there.
Oh, okay.
So he hired me, and I made him a new painting, which is, more aligns with his artistic sensibility, which is creepy and perverted. And so it's
yeah. You say creepy, I'm in. Perverted.
Doesn't that guy have like a band? Doesn't he have music?
Yeah, his band is called the Bloodcocks.
Oh yeah, the Bloodcocks.
And they don't play in America.
Oh, okay.
They only play in Japan.
Yeah, that sounds creepy and perverted.
He's a trip. I mean, I can't tell you the stories that he's told me. So he also owns a bar called the Double Down.
Oh, okay.
With the toilet. The mug. Isn't it a toilet mug they have?
Yeah. They have what is the cocktail? So they have two disgusting cocktails: the bacon martini, and is it called the toilet water or something? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but basically what it is they throughout the night when they're cleaning up, they dump the bar mats into this big jar, and then
fucking disgusting.
It's horrifying. So, I mean, I did the posters for the Double Down for years, and people would come into my booth at mostly at Viva Las Vegas. I would say my recommendation is stay the fuck out of there. And
but I heard that's a thing. A lot of bartenders say that when somebody gets super wasted.
Juice.
Yeah, ass juice.
That's the cocktail, and they serve it in the toilet mug.
It's it's funny. It sounds so disgusting, but me, like 21, 22, I would totally try. Even fucking 30-year-olds, I would have tried it.
Yeah, you're like, hell yeah, ass juice.
I'll try all of it.
It's like people drinking. Do you know what Malort is?
Mm-hmm. No,
I've never had it. It's that Chicago liqueur.
Yeah,
right?
it's supposedly a Chicago digestivo. It's like there's one that is called the bartender's handshake, which is Fernet Branca.
These names.
And Fernet is what all the bartenders take shots of because it's lower alcohol and it's delicious. And, it's an Italian digestivo. So Malort is like a Chicago version of that. That's just, it tastes like burning tires. It's just, but a lot of dudes are like, yeah, let's have shots of Malort, because it's, like a rite of passage or something.
Yeah,
But,
it kind of reminds me.
Tough guy stuff.
Remember that movie Gangs of New York where they're at the bar and they have that barrel? It says all sorts. Where it's like you said, they pour the leftover drinks in there, and he's going to under the barrel and just drink that.
yeah, that's not cool.
It's very. I guess it's punk rock though. But I like the idea of a toilet mug though. It's kind of interesting. I'm just asking him how he decides when he does a painting, if it's going to be a sculpture or if it's going to be a painting. Because everything starts with paintings.
Everything starts with painting, right?
Yeah. So okay. So one thing I want to ask you. So going on your art and your inspirations. One thing that interview you grew up with a very big family.
Yeah, big Italian family, 6 kids.
6 kids. Where were you in the age range there? Like
I'm right in the middle.
Oh, okay, middle kid, just
Right
like
in the
me.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, something about being a middle kid, I think that you're a little bit more motivated to express yourself.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of middle kids are creative.
Oh, okay. So creative, rebellious subculture.
Yeah, definitely rebellious.
Yeah, I guess I fit in there too.
Oh, man.
So, and then during that interview too, you mentioned that your family, because you go back to surfing, you guys went to the beach a lot. You guys did a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I was not really a lot of traveling, but because my dad was an educator, and as a high school principal or elementary school principal, he didn't have a lot of money, so we would do a lot of camping. But we would go camping at the beach. We would go camping at San Alejo State Park in San Diego, and so I just lived in the water. So growing up a beach kid is where I was exposed to artists like Rick Griffin and surf poster culture. But yeah,
one thing you mentioned too is it struck me when you mentioned when you were surfing and doing your you used to travel a lot too while you were surfing.
Oh yeah, so when I got into the surf industry, I started going to the South Pacific a lot. So Hawaii, most of the Hawaiian Islands, Fiji, Samoa, going and ending up in Australia. Just a lot of chasing waves, and which gets really addictive because once you've been on a six foot wave, you want to ride an 8 foot wave, and once you ride an 8 foot wave, you want to ride a 12 foot wave, and so it's kind of chasing an addiction.
Oh, so it's like a big adrenaline rush then, huh?
Yeah,
because you can wipe out. I've never surfed.
Easily get hurt.
I've never surfed.
Easily get killed.
I don't even like taking my shirt off to go in the water. So
we grew up fat, so
yeah. So the fat kid who wore the shirt in the pool. That was me.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning how from island to island, how you would notice difference in the kind of tiki and the sculptures too. And I was just thinking about just like going from city to city, the architecture, the history, the stories behind it. Did that at all kind of inspire your art too as well? So I'd love to hear about it.
No, not really. Growing up in Southern California, that's kind of where my nugget for America comes from, and custom culture and tiki culture from California, and then Polynesian places is kind of where what trips the serotonin triggers in my head.
What's the biggest difference you would say too from America to the Polynesian as far as the look, the feel, and the art?
So when I first started traveling in Polynesia, I would go out to when I would go to Hawaii in particular, I would go straight to the North Shore, and so it was country. It was and going to Tahiti or Fiji is like going to Hawaii decades earlier. So it was very bucolic. Samoa, they're farmers. It's a much more less developed citified sort of experience, and so the supernatural quality of Polynesia is what really attracted me to that.
The supernatural part of it. Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting.
Just absolutely mind blowing to sit on a motu, an outside an outer reef in French Polynesia with the stars and the wildlife, seeing spinner dolphins and diving on reefs with sharks and rays and tropical fish, and so it's just it just trips something in my brain anyway.
No, it sounds
But
beautiful.
the wild thing though is since my girlfriend really likes
The way you described it, I could smell it.
yeah, and the frangipani, the plumeria and stuff. But I've been going to Waikiki a lot because my girlfriend likes that more, and there's amazing mid-century, architecture and breeze blocks and really cool stuff that has survived the 50s and 60s in Honolulu and Waikiki. And so that's been really fun to see and sort of recalibrate on, is a more urban part of Polynesia.
So you mentioned how Ruby's Dilemma was one of your first popular pieces. What are some of your other pieces that you would say really gained steam throughout your years?
Define my art. I don't know. I have, I have a catalog of hundreds and hundreds of prints. So because I have so much art that I offer, I don't think that I get a really clear read of what people respond to. So I don't know. That's a hard question. I mean, I feel like right now the paintings I'm doing that are like punk rock pinups, I'm really enjoying. So so those are what I feel like define me now.
More of this, like I mentioned earlier, sexy, dangerous women.
Yeah.
The one I have in my bar is the Cramps one, the one you did.
Well, I've painted Poison Ivy 3 times now. And twice and I've painted Lux Interiors a bunch of times. I mean, the Cramps are a really formative, important band for me. I mean, for a lot of musicians too, huh? I mean, it's kind of like the genesis of psychobilly, right? Mm-hmm. Poison Ivy kind of is the quintessential Big Toe, muse.
Cool.
Just the fact that she's a badass, incredibly talented, powerful guitar player, and also super sexy. Is kind of
Just that look is very iconic.
Yeah, super fun.
Do you collect anything outside of tiki, whether it be vinyl or any other guilty pleasures aside from this subculture?
Nope.
It's all tiki.
Nope. Yeah, it's all tiki. It's a very immersive lifestyle, and it kind of takes over everything.
Yeah.
And the challenge is that everything is cool. Like I've got friends that make these mind-blowing lamps and tikis and art and music and so because there's so many different aspects of it, I feel like I'm jealously guarding my resources to support all of those different aspects.
You said your dad was a hot rodder. Did you ever get into that scene?
No, I mean I had could
you change your own oil?
Yeah. Yeah. So in the mid 80s, I bought a 62 Cadillac convertible.
Nice.
And so I had that Coupe de Ville for like 3 years, and I was trying to wrench on it because I had a Ford Pinto at the time, and I could change my oil. I could do simple repairs on it. But when I got that car, and this was like before the internet, so all we had was Hemmings Motor News. So you had to be able to really do detective work to find, like the fuel pump for the convertible top or the alternator, and just diagnosing stuff. I just didn't have the skill set to be a hot rodder.
We're gonna hit an hour soon, so we'll probably wrap it up. A
Okay.
few more questions. I find myself sometimes uninspired. You said I'm a middle child. I'm not sure if I'm creative. I know for sure you're creative. Do you ever find yourself stuck? And how do you get yourself out of that? I just want to know personally, because sometimes I find myself just lacking motivation as far as just creating, as far as just whether it be editing or writing or just emailing you felt like a mission to me sometimes, just because the pressure of like I had to get myself out here and do this.
Yeah, man. Burnout is real. And I feel like every time I finish a body of work or finish a mug, I just finished a mug that just about ate my brain. It's an octopus sitting on a skull with a sushi knife for a bar in the valley called Kuna Tiki 2. And I give everything to that project, but then you creatively you get cooked. And after I finish a set of paintings for a show, it's just you just feel depleted. And I try to find other aspects where I can be creative while I recharge my battery. So
I see.
I'll refinish frames, or I'll work on tiki mugs, or I'll work in the yard, or just whatever. You just have to keep pushing through on something until you get the spark back.
Do you have a certain tiki mug that you're like the most proud of, or anything?
No, man. They're all my children. I guess the one that I keep,
like, this is perfect.
The one I keep going back to that I feel like is my biggest achievement was a mug called the Backwater mug for a bar in Indianapolis called the Inferno Room.
I was about to say that.
And the reason I dig that one is because I didn't think there was any way I was going to get to make that.
I had it on deck because I was
there. It is. So that one was an incredibly difficult mug to make for a number of reasons. It's on a tripod, so I can't believe they agreed to make that mug. I showed it to Holden first, and he told me to fuck off because it's impossible to make because of the tripod. If there's any flaw in any part of the slip, the clay, it'll lean. So there's an incredibly large number of second quality, like ruined mugs.
Yeah.
And then those tusks have to be molded separately. So that's a whole thing. And then it's got the rope things in the sides, and then it's got a really complex glaze thing. So shout out to Mug Tiki for making that mug because it's an achievement.
It looks
blown away.
It looks like a cool mug.
Thank you.
Awesome, and yeah, thanks. That's good advice. I'm gonna try it because you mentioned too working on frames. So you make your own frames. You do.
I don't make them. I refinish them.
Oh, okay. I see.
So all my tiki frames are made from a guy named Buzzy Park in Bay Park Buzzy in San Diego.
So as you're talking, you're going for that box. I keep looking.
Man.
I'm like, what's in the box?
Yeah. So this is a world premiere, and I feel bad because I found out we don't have visual, but you can take pictures.
Yeah.
So this is a tiki mug that we developed for
the Punk Rock Museum,
for the Tiki Punk art show at the Punk Rock Museum this summer.
Yeah, our camera guy couldn't make it. It's unfortunate. I'm really mad now.
But so the logo for this year, last year I paid an homage to Sean Carey's Skankman from the Circle Jerks. This year, the logo for the art pays homage to one of the first Cramps albums, Bad Music for Bad People.
Oh, nice.
Which the art was done by an artist named Stephen Blickenstaff. And so I just kind of did a tiki-fied version of him. He's supposed to be looking at you like side-eye like that.
I love it, dude.
This is so sick.
But
it's really nice.
So I reached out to Stephen to get his blessing to parody his art, and he started asking about the show, and I'm like, dude, do you want to be in the show? And he said yes, so he's in the show, which I'm super geeked about.
When is the show gonna?
So the show opens June 6th at the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas.
Wow, world premiere. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, wow, thanks for that. That's like, I'm shocked. I think it's like, whoa.
In fact, the other connection to you is that Ben Kay's singer from the Toe Tags.
Oh, yeah.
Is an artist in the show as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've been trying
Thomas.
to get them on.
Dude, those guys are so good.
Yeah,
love that band.
Yeah, they're really good. But I'll never get too close to him again while they're playing. He likes throwing beer at your.
He does.
Yeah.
He's of that.
you had the Toe Tag show at that.
Oh, you did.
So definitely, when we take a picture at the end, I want to hold this, or one of us is going to hold it.
That's a cool one.
That is so fucking cool because it looks creepy.
I'm definitely gonna get one of those.
I know that's your vibe.
I'm on the horror side of things. Yeah, that's why I mentioned the convention. How do you do at the horror conventions, the Paloozas?
I feel like as you can tell from this, I feel like my art fits in there, and I bring more of my monster stuff to that show. I love Monsterpalooza. I used to love Midsummer Scream. I'm having trouble getting back into that show though.
Oh well, we're gonna have to push. Oh my god! If you ever make anything Ghostface related, you let me know. I'll be
Ghostface?
the first. Yeah, it's my favorite. Right. I'll be the first lined up. He's got a Ghostface Tiki mug I've been having my eye on for weeks or months.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, longer. What am I saying? Weeks or months. Yeah, I looked for it online. It was kind of pricey, so I'm just hoping that you'll get drunk and go, you know what, Bear? You know what? This is for you. So I'm gonna have to keep passing those drinks to him.
There you go. That's how you do it.
All right, so we hit about an hour. We're in this belly.
Cool.
We got the nice bartender here about to set up because they're going to open soon. So we are going to wrap it up. There is so much to talk to you about, but I mean, we went on for. I'm looking at my list here.
I know I ramble.
No. I love it. Before I go, do you play any instruments too? Since you're so.
I don't. The only thing
music?
I'm a shitty ukulele player.
Yeah.
I started to play bass and drums in different bands, and I just, for whatever reason, it never stuck. So I'm a visual guy.
All right.
I'm more the guy that does the flyer for the album cover, the flyer for the band.
Well, one of these days I'm working on a trilogy. I want to get you, Spike, and Norman Cabrera on the same episode.
Oh shit, I love Norman. At the same time.
Yeah.
Norman is the coolest.
Yeah, he's a friend of the show. He's been on. He's one of our earliest guests.
I'm gonna have to go listen to that.
Our early guest. Yeah, it's a while back, but yeah, he's great. Like I said, get all three of you in your room, and like I said, just keep who knows?
Roll.
Yeah, just roll and hear the stories.
Yeah, Norman's rad. I love chatting with that dude, and he's got a very similar sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, and then of course,
and just what a rock star, man.
Yeah. Special makeup effects, drumming. Like I said, for one of my favorite bands ever, the Ghastly Ones.
Yeah, Ghastly Ones, and then fronting the.
Fink?
Is it Finksville 5? What's his hot rod band?
Boss Fink.
Boss Fink.
Yeah.
Boss Fink. Yeah, and so yeah, incredible, great music, great. Ghastly Ones is super amazing, and you can't express how amazing his artwork is.
All right. Well, if you're ever in the area, be sure to visit the Stowaway. This place is amazing, and hopefully,
I love this place.
And say hi.
Great drinks.
And say hi to Tom, or AKA Big Toe.
Yep, that's me. I'll be here. I'll be sitting at the bar.
All right then. This is Beer with Bear with Big Toe. Thank you very much for coming on.
My pleasure. Super fun.